Hello, everyone! This is Mason Haggett here from the Casino Co-Official, and today we're going to be reading Justice Story 2, Goldie and the 7 Stars, Chapter 9, Judgment. Narrator: Isaac wakes up in his little travel trailer on his sheetless bed with no pillows. He sits up with a mighty burp. Isaac: Man, that morning burp was pretty good. I had fun yesterday. In fact, it was the most fun I had in a while. Welp, anyways, better get my morning routine done. Narrator: He teleports to the bathroom because it's impossible to walk there through the house due to the mass amount of wreckage and trash. But he would have still teleported there anyways. He looks at his teeth before he brushes them. Isaac: Man, my teeth are whiter than ever. Narrator: They are dark green. Isaac: Well, guess that means I don't have to brush them. Narrator: But then he feels something in the back of his throat. He reaches his entire arm into his mouth and pulls out a spider egg. Isaac: Oh, a spider egg! Well, that's new. Narrator: He then begins to gag as he barfs out an iguana. The iguana crawls down the drain and probably clogs it from how fat it is. Isaac: Maybe that's a sign I should brush my teeth. Narrator: He chucks the spider egg behind him somewhere as he looks in the mirror one more time. Isaac: Oh my goodness. Narrator: He stares into the mirror with shock as he says, Isaac, I have some pretty good teeth. Narrator: He teleports out of the bathroom, feeling greatly accomplished, when in reality, I'm just praying that he doesn't catch Ebola or something else. He ends up on his bench press as he works out for about 10 minutes, and then he goes outside to shoot some hoops. He then comes back inside and watches Fast and Furious for the 900th time next to his favorite pile of snow, Jeffrey the Lizard. Man, you really need to fix your house, man. Isaac: Wow, a lizard is telling me to fix my house now? Sheesh, I already have Charlie telling me to do that now. Now a lizard that just spawned in? Jeffrey the Lizard: I didn't just spawn in. My family has been living here for 40 years until they all died because he forgot to fix the refrigeration unit and a bunch of toxic gas came out the back of it. Isaac: Oh, so that's what that smell is. Jeffrey the Lizard: Also, the absurd amount of trash on the floor and the moldy eggs on the refrigerator that have been there for 36 years. Your house is literally an ecosystem. Isaac: Oh, that's nice. Narrator: He then grabs a conveniently placed bag of Takis as he consumes the entire bag, including the packaging. Jeffrey the Lizard: You know what? I've lost all hope in you. Narrator: Jeffrey jumps off the folding chair Isaac is sitting on and into the forest of trash he has on the ground. Isaac: It's a little cold in here, but the problem is my heater is jammed still. Narrator: He then has an idea. He puts all his pots and pans in the microwave and sets it for 68 minutes. The microwave catches on fire. Isaac: That's better. Narrator: He sits on the couch and finishes his movie. Isaac: Well, that was fun. Anyways, it's time to go wake up Charlie. Narrator: He walks out of the door of his house with a mighty burp as he then gets in his sports car and reaches into his pocket and... Isaac: Crap, where did I put them this time? 30 minutes later. Narrator: Isaac finally found his keys underneath a pile of fishing supplies he never uses. Then he goes outside and gets in his sports car. He shoves the key in the ignition and drives to Charlotte's house, while pondering why he needs to do this because he can just teleport. Meanwhile, narrator: Perry is in the kitchen, warming up leftovers from the night before, from when his sister wakes up. He's excited to finally place all 7 stars on the 7 pedestals, but the problem is that Ethan S. Boss Battle Realm isn't exactly an active universe, and even if they do make it inside the old broken place, it won't be a stable place, and things they once knew will look different. Isaac: Man, last night was crazy. Narrator: Isaac walks in and sits on one of the chairs in front of the kitchen counter. Perry: Yeah, yesterday in general was crazy. Isaac, you're right about that, bucko. Narrator, the day before, Isaac fought in a war and had a huge surprise birthday party in one day. Isaac, so is that hole still in the ceiling? Perry, what do you think? Narrator, Isaac looks up at the ceiling and sees the big gaping hole. Isaac, wow, it's bigger than the hole in my ceiling. Perry, yeah, Charlie has told me some things about your house, and let's just say that I never want to go there. Isaac, I don't get what Charlie's problem is with my house. I have a perfectly clean and livable house, and she makes it sound like I have a lizard infestation and moths in my closet. Perry, Isaac, even the talking lizard that lives in a bag of Takis on the floor of my house tells me my house is unlivable. Can you believe that? Narrator, Perry is just peacefully eating his breakfast while trying not to yell at him. Perry, tell me about some adventures you and Charlie have gone on when I was dead. Isaac, okay, let me try to think of one. Narrator, Isaac tries to think of one until he finally thinks of the perfect one. Isaac, oh, I have the perfect story for you. Charlie and I were sitting around one day when out of nowhere she wanted to go to the True Lab. There's just one problem, though. She lost her keys, and she had no idea where she left them. So we looked around the house for hours, and she couldn't find them. So we spent an entire month going around the multiverse looking for them with her until I finally realized that I could have just summoned a raptor blaster and blown open the door. Charlotte could have done that with ease, too. So yeah, we were kind of mad at ourselves. Perry, if I was there, something that stupid would have never happened. Isaac, yeah, I bet. Perry, and besides, I found them underneath the kitchen sink. Narrator, Perry slides a pair of keys over to Isaac. Isaac, they were under the kitchen sink? Perry, yep. Isaac, you know, it's times like these when I just want to blow up the world. Perry, yep, don't worry, we all feel that way sometimes. Isaac, so what are you cooking, man? Perry, leftovers from last night. Isaac, sweet. Narrator, Isaac sits there for a second, angry at himself, as Perry thinks of his next question, but as soon as Perry thinks of it, Isaac asks him a question instead. Isaac, so you have been alive for billions of years, right? Perry, yup. Isaac, tell me, what some of the first universes were and what they were like. Narrator, Perry thinks back as far as he remembers, but even these three that he remembers might not be the actual first ones. Perry, I can't really remember. Heck, I don't even know if these were the actual firsts. But I do remember the Fat Pizza Guy universe, the Candy Cane universe, and the Godzilla Tales universe. The Fat Pizza Guy universe was much like the One Night on the Jolly Rogers universe. The only eventful thing to happen in it was the Great Pizza Wars. Narrator, Isaac bursts out in a fit of laughter. Isaac, the Great Pizza Wars? My question is just why? Perry, Domino's wanted to get market share back from Little Caesars, so they teamed up with Pizza Hut and sent the Pepsi fleet to war. More than 2,000 Little Caesars pizza factories were blown up that year, and there were about 500 billion casualties. Isaac, over pizza? Perry, precisely. Narrator, Isaac repeatedly slams his face against the counter 5 times. Isaac, but why is my question. Perry, I don't know, I was just a guy that was sent out to calm down the situation. Isaac, did you? Perry, yes, I actually did. I brainwashed all the head CEOs into signing a treaty using some magic, and everyone was kind of sick of the war too, so it was pretty easy to stop it. Isaac, yes, of course they were sick of it. It was a war over pizza, for goodness sake. Anyways, what was the Candy Cane universe like? Perry, it was very sweet. Everything was made out of candy, and all the people were made out of candy. I remember one time there was a food shortage in multiple parts of the Godzilla Tales universe, and the people from the Candy Cane universe donated some of their natural resources to feed the hungry. Isaac, wait, if the Candy Cane people if the candy people ate candy, wouldn't that make them cannibals? Perry, probably. Isaac, sweet. Perry, and then the Godzilla Tales universe was much like the One Night on the Jolly Rogers universe, except for one thing. Isaac, was that one thing Godzilla? Perry, yup. Something Charlie told me recently was that after she destroyed that universe, Anguirus appeared somewhere in Dark Realm number 1, and she had to dispatch of him. Isaac, yeah, I remember that story. She told me it took her 10 minutes to kill the creature. Perry, yep, that's exactly what she told me. Narrator. Then Perry puts a plate with 10 burritos on the counter. Perry, can you go wake up Charlie for me, please? Isaac, oh, don't worry. It will be my pleasure. Narrator. Perry rolls his eyes as he pours Isaac and Charlotte's coffee and puts it on the counter next to their plates. He then gets his favorite mug and puts some ice cream and sprinkles in it as he then pours the coffee into it. To top it off, he puts whipped cream on the top of and puts it next to his plate. Meanwhile, narrator, Charlotte was dreaming up all these different puns in her sleep, but then she's rudely awakened by Isaac screaming into a megaphone. Isaac, oh, we're halfway there. Oh, Squidward on a chair. Charlotte, Isaac, I'm going to send you flying into the sun. Narrator, but Isaac teleported downstairs before she could break down every single one of his molecules and disintegrate him. Perry, geez, I could hear you from all the way down here. Isaac, welp, she's awake, that's for sure. Narrator, Isaac takes a seat next to Perry as they begin to eat, but Isaac can't help but to notice Perry's dramatic coffee. Isaac, dude, are you trying to get diabetic? Perry, I only have coffee like once a month. Leave me alone, dude. At least I don't drink it straight like you and Charlie. Isaac, you do have a point, but still, that's not healthy, man. Narrator, then Perry remembers something he's been meaning to ask Isaac. Perry, so is the job of the royal judge passed down through bloodline, or do you just have the job until you die? Isaac, well, it's complicated. You have to go to college to become a judge for 6 years, and then you have to train for another 4 years. And then at the end of your training, the previous royal judge will give you all their memories of the timeline and other weird stuff, and they will act like they never knew about it at all afterwards. And yes, it is a job that's exclusive to the Benavides bloodline. Perry, so I'm assuming Veronica was the royal judge before you. Isaac, precisely. Perry, knew it. Narrator, Isaac chooses not to ask how Perry knew his sister's name. Perry, so did your sister die? Isaac, what? No, she just got sick of the job, so she passed it down to me, and I begrudgingly took up the mantle. Narrator, then their conversation stops as Charlotte walks down the stairs wearing a green t-shirt and black leggings. She also has a hoodie on because of how cold it is. She takes a seat. Charlotte, thank goodness there wasn't a snowstorm yesterday, or else there would be a big pile of snow on the floor. Perry, yeah, good thing. Isaac, just wanted to say thanks for the party yesterday, especially after the insane adventure we went on. Charlotte, yeah, it was our pleasure. After all, I didn't want to forget another one of your birthdays. Isaac, yeah, it was like all 65 birthdays you forgot, all combined into one awesome birthday. Charlotte, yeah. Perry, how many times have you remembered Charlie's birthday, Isaac? Isaac, every time. Why? Perry, oh wow. Charlotte, yeah, he always does something stupid on those days too. For example, he calls me at 2 a.m. to ask me if there was a birthday that day he was supposed to remember. One of my birthdays, he removed the ceiling of my house somehow, and all the birds in the neighborhood took a crap in my house for some reason. Isaac, oh, remember that time I made you my homemade chocolate? Charlotte, yeah, I remember, especially because I caught Ebola after I ate it. Narrator, Perry almost spits out his coffee mid-sip. Perry, what the heck did Isaac use to make it? Isaac, whatever I could find in my pantry. Perry, the fact that Charlie caught Ebola after eating a chocolate bar made out of stuff from your pantry scares me. Do you think that's normal? Isaac, yeah, why? Perry, you know what? I'm going to make it my personal goal to clean your house after we go to the Ethan S. Boss Battle Realm. And you two are going to help. Charlotte, but do we have to? Can't we just make Isaac do it? Perry, well, when was the last time Isaac cleaned his house? Charlotte, I don't know, ask him. Isaac, Yesterday, I picked up a bag of potato chips off the floor, but that's about all I have done in 50 years. Perry, yeah, we're going to have to do a lot of work to do when we get back. Charlotte, yeah, but first let's do a squeaky clean job at getting these stars in their place. Isaac, you get worse every single time. Perry, yeah, I'd have to agree. Charlotte, well, it definitely wasn't my worst pun. Narrator, then Brownie comes running down the stairs like the hound that he is. Perry, oh yeah, we need someone to take care of Brownie, don't we? Charlotte, I'll call Mr. Pizza. Isaac, isn't he going to be tired after the party yesterday? Narrator, then they hear the door swing open as the fat pizza guy walks in. The fat pizza guy, I'm here to play football with Brownie. Brownie, Arf! I have no concept of time because I'm a dog! Charlotte, wow, I didn't even need to call him. Perry, alright, anyways, let's get going. Narrator, Perry gets up and opens a portal as he lets Charlotte go through first. He goes in next, and Isaac begrudgingly gets up and goes through the portal last. They come out of the portal in front of the museum/lab. Isaac, looks equally bad as it did the last time I saw it. Charlotte, what do you mean labs are so cute? Perry, Narrator, they walk inside, wasting no time to look at the artifacts, and make their way towards the laboratory. They open the door and walk in. Dr. Grant, welcome, you three. How are you doing? Dr. Isabel, say, thank you for having us over at Isaac's party yesterday. Charlotte, yeah, it was our pleasure. Thank you guys for coming. Dr. H, yeah, it made my boring old daily routine just a little bit more interesting. Dr. Isabel, yeah, things rarely happen here anymore. Perry, so the Forgotten Realm has changed a lot since I died. Narrator, everyone laughs as Charlotte looks at Isaac, giving him the cue to at least say something. Isaac, oh yeah, thank you guys for coming to my birthday party. Dr. Bill, can't believe you're 76 now. Isaac, yup, even though I don't look it, I'm getting pretty old. Dr. Asia, don't start saying that until you're 600,075 years old. Narrator, everyone in the room laughs as Isaac realizes that Charlotte and him have only been around in the Forgotten Realm for a very short amount of time. Perry, well anyways, I am so sorry to say this, but we have to get to the true lab. Dr. Grant, oh okay, well, see you guys later. Narrator, the scientists move out of the way as the three walk through many office desks and experiments until they get to an old wooden door that says True Lab above it with flickering lights. Isaac, it's been a while since we have been here, eh, Charlie? Charlotte, yeah, probably because I have been hooked up to some battery thing for 6 months. Isaac, oh yeah, that happened. Narrator, the three think about all they have gone through recently. Perry, man, a lot has happened since I've come back to life. The first thing I remember is Father telling me through a dream to find the 7 stars. Now here we are, about to enter the True Lab to find a way through the Ethan S. boss battle realm. Charlotte, yeah, brother, I remember my shocked expression of seeing you for the first time since you, died. Perry, yeah, I still don't really know how I'm here either. Isaac, well, let's just go with the same stupid excuse we've been using the entire story and say that the Puppet Master has something to do with it. Perry, yeah, okay, that makes it easy. Narrator, Perry pulls the key he found in the kitchen out of his pocket and opens the door. Charlotte, where did you find those? Perry, under the kitchen sink. Why? Narrator, as they enter the elevator, Charlotte goes on a rant on how she couldn't find her keys anywhere and how her and Isaac had to look across the entire multiverse for them until they decided to give up. Perry, well, that's unfortunate. Narrator, Perry clicks the down button on the elevator as they begin their descent. Charlotte leans back on the side of the elevator as Isaac stands there and flips a coin repeatedly. Perry is wondering what the Ethan S. boss battle realm is going to look like, especially with the damage his sister did to it. If they are unlucky, they could fall to the floor and descend into never-ending darkness. They also have to be aware of vengeful spirits. The elevator door opens with a loud thud As Isaac has to push the doors open to exit the thing, they see the 2 cylinders that Charlotte and Perry were created in, as they are filled with determination. Perry, well, well, well. It's been a while since we have been here. It's been a while since we have been in here together, eh, Charlie? Charlotte, yeah, you are right about that, brother. Narrator, there is a moment of silence as they look at all the old bookshelves, filing cabinets, and the 2 glowing light blue cylinders in the middle of the room. Perry goes over to one of the desks as he stares at it with nostalgia. Charlotte, why are you staring at that nasty old desk, brother? Perry, sister, this is the desk where our father first conceptualized you. Charlotte, really? Perry, yep, this is where he drew the concept art for you. Narrator, it's a small granite desk that is attached to the back of one of the blue cylinders of liquid. It has what looks like years worth of dust on it. Isaac, I thought I knew everything about Charlie's creation, so this new information is quite interesting. Charlotte, do you remember all the steps of how I was created? Perry, I do. It's one of my most favoriteest memories, but it's a long story and we're kind of busy, you know? Charlotte, gee, I already forgot we were doing in this old place. Isaac, we literally just got here. Perry, classic. Narrator, the 3 head towards a rack attached to the wall that has many old rusty metal boxes with locks that seem to be almost ancient. Isaac, whoa, the puppet master couldn't find anything better than master locks. Charlotte, well, they are master locks, so they must be pretty good. Isaac, haha, so funny. I'm dying of laughter. Narrator, they look at all the boxes. One is labeled Godzilla Tales, and another one is labeled the Candy Cane, and they look through many more also until they find the one that is labeled the Ethan S. Boss Battle. Perry, found it. Charlotte, of course you did. Narrator, Perry puts it on the ground as he ponders what to do with it. Perry, so how do we... Narrator, he is suddenly cut off as Charlotte throws the box into the air and smashes it into the wall using the government destructor, causing a portal to open on the wall. This portal is much darker and more distorted than Charlotte or Perry's portals. A great wind comes out of it as Perry and Isaac get sucked through, but Charlotte manages to grab onto a metal bar that is connected to the shelf. But the wind is too powerful for even her, and she is sucked into the portal as well. Hyperlink blocked minutes later. Narrator, Isaac can feel a cold breeze going across his face as he lays face down in the snow. But for some reason, even though he should feel cold, he feels a sense of warmth, almost like he is home again. He slowly stands up as he looks around. A slight tear comes out of his eye as he sees the old village he lived in all those years ago. He walks down as he sees the house he lived in with his siblings, the house Albert lived in with his cranky old wife, and how could he forget Christopher's house with its signature Burger King flag outside, fading in and out of existence repeatedly. He looks up and sees the roof of the underground and remembers all the countless years he spent down here without sun. Isaac, they were right. This place is unbelievably glitchy. Narrator, the trees are missing their textures, so to speak, so they show up as black and purple rectangles, and all the buildings keep fading in and out of existence. Isaac feels like if he makes one wrong step, he would fall out of reality itself. Isaac, I don't think Charlie and Perry would mind if I stopped in my old house very quick. Narrator, then he looks around himself to see where Charlotte and Perry are, but he can't find them. Isaac, that's strange. Oh, whatever. They can handle themselves. After all, we're going to the same place, so I can meet them at Ethan's castle when I'm done. Narrator, he walks up to his old house. It's just as he remembers it to be, made with dark oak wood and 2 stories tall. There is truly no place like home. He walks through the beautifully painted red door as he smells the beautiful smell of home fading in and out. He enters the living room and sees Veronica sitting there, frozen in place, like a statue, on her phone with someone. Isaac. She is always a hard worker, always doing stuff for that bakery she owned. Narrator. He crosses his two younger sisters, playing tag with each other, which are also frozen in place, as he opens the fridge. Isaac. Okay, now let's see if that slice of pizza is still there. Narrator. He opens the refrigerator, and fire comes bursting out of it, as Isaac quickly closes the door. Isaac. Never mind. Wait, is it snowing? Narrator. He looks up, and snow is coming out of nowhere, but it's not showing up on the red carpet of the house when it falls. Isaac. Bro, this is not Ohio. Narrator. Then Isaac remembers back in 8th grade when that Ohio meme first became popular. Isaac. Oh, the memories. If only I knew I were to be rummaging upon the ruins of my house when I got older. Narrator. He goes upstairs and looks at all the bedrooms. Something he realizes is that the trash in his room has been teleported to Veronica's room, and the perfume smell of Veronica's room has been teleported to his room. He walks into his old room with a booming headache due to the horrific smell. His bed, however, is completely the same as the last time he saw it, with its sweaty old sheets and all. And he looks in the corner at his computer and desk. Isaac. I wonder if it still works. Narrator. He sits down on his comfy old chair as he boots up his computer, but when he does, it reads glitchy text that says to look at the door. He looks at the door leading into his bedroom as he sees a freaking demon standing there. Isaac. Oh, hi there. May I interest you in a stick of gum? Narrator. The beast is 7 feet tall, and he towers over Isaac. He has goat legs, but a humanoid body, and the face of Michael, his brother. It is wearing a black cloak, covering its body and head, but not its leg. It smacks the gum stick out of Isaac's hand as it growls in his face. The demon. Greetings, Isaac Benavides. It is us. Do you remember us? Isaac. Nah, I'm afraid I don't. Narrator. He takes the entire container of gum out of his pocket as he shoves the thing in his mouth and chews on it. The demon. Well, let me give you a reminder. We are the people you sent to death row in your job as judge. Narrator. Suddenly, goosebumps go down Isaac's skin as he can feel his sins crawling down his back. Isaac. Oh yeah, sorry about that. Say, how are you guys doing? The demon. Really? I'm sorry. That's it. You killed us. You ended our lives. Narrator. Isaac slowly gets off his chair and backs away towards the window. He slowly begins to open the curtain. Isaac. Okay, and... I sent you to death row for a reason. Some of you massacred many people or betrayed our land for selfish reasons. Now, sure, no one deserves to die for their actions, and I had no right to pass judgment on you, because only God has that right. But I cannot let you be left alive out of the fear of more people being hurt by your selfish actions. The demon. Ooh, you're one to talk about selfish actions. Narrator. The demon approaches Isaac and picks him up and slams him against the wall of his bedroom. He tries to teleport out of his grasp, but for some reason, he just can't. The demon. You can see the future, but you choose not to out of fear. You can see the timeline go down, which means something bad is going to happen. You can see it stay still, which means that everything is going to be fine. And you can see it go up, which means that there is going to be a lot of activity in the multiverse. But you choose not to read it or talk to anyone about it out of fear. Isaac, is it Is it not out of fear? It's not out of fear. It's out of self-control, you idiot. Narrator. The demon pulls the legendary sword. The demon pulls the legendary hero, a beautiful, majestic sword that he remembers being sold at Madeline Pitt's store. Or was it Jonica's? He doesn't remember. All he knew was that it was expensive and deadly. The demon slashes him across the chest with it and chucks Isaac out the window. But for some reason, Isaac is not cut by the glass. It's almost like he just glides through as he is cushioned by the snow. He begins to see visions as he watches his whole life as it starts to when he and his friends and hundreds of other people were... He begins to see visions. He watches his whole life as it starts when he and his friends and hundreds of other people were sealed underground to when he woke up in the Forgotten Realm. The demon. What's the matter? Life flashing before your eyes? Narrator. Isaac summons a raptor blaster, but it shrivels up into dust when the demon looks at it. Isaac, please, don't kill me, the demon. Whether or not you're justified in your actions, we still want our revenge. And besides, you've been alive long enough, am I correct? Isaac, maybe, but I'm not dying now. The demon. Oh, I'm sorry. You don't get to make that decision. Narrator. Isaac reaches into his pocket with extreme reflexes and pulls out one of his secret weapons he's had the entire journey. He pulls out the 7th advanced human soul. And this isn't just any advanced human soul. It's the strongest soul in the multiverse. The soul of the player. The demon backs away with horror at the mere sight of the soul, as it cowers in fear and falls to its knees. The demon. What is that thing? Narrator. Isaac can hear his heart pounding as visions keep going in his head as he repeatedly says to himself, please don't die yet. But then he hears a voice that he is more thankful to hear than ever. Perry. In the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Spirit, I command you to leave this mortal realm and rest. Narrator. The demon then disappears, leaving only his black cloak and sword as they fall to the ground. Perry rushes towards Isaac as he places his hands on Isaac's wounds as he starts to heal him. Green fluorescent lights appear above Perry's hands as Isaac's wounds slowly heal. 10 minutes later. Narrator. Isaac wakes up, heart pounding. As he clings onto Perry, he can feel his blood pumping through his veins, and his heart is pounding. He is hyperventilating. Perry. Wow, I've never seen you this scared before. Narrator. From what Perry remembers about the stories he's heard about Isaac, and the little he analyzed of him in his old universe, and from just watching him in general, he could tell that this guy was fearless. Perry. Deep breaths, deep breaths. Everything's going to be fine. Isaac. They were hunting me. I was helpless, truly helpless. I could not do anything. My magic shriveled away, and he was truly distorted. It was almost like death itself was after me. What happened to this place? Perry. Charlotte destroyed this place. We both know that, so snap out of it. Narrator. Perry shakes Isaac. Isaac then takes a collection of deep breaths as he calms down finally. Perry. So what did you see? Isaac. It was a true monster. And that's weird coming from me because I fought the worst of the worst. It was a combination of all the souls that I sent to death row, and it stood upright and had the body of a goat and the face of my brother. Perry. Wow, I knew we were going to see some spirits here, but not one like that. What were you doing to find that thing? Isaac. I just explored my old house where I used to live, and when I got into my bedroom and turned on the old computer, it read a horrifying screen that said, "Look at the door." And then I saw it. That thing almost killed me. Narrator. He then looks at Perry. Isaac. You saved my life, didn't you? Perry. Yup, that was me, all right.
Narrator. Then Isaac gets up and says, Isaac, thank you. Narrator. There is a sudden moment of silence as Perry gets up and Isaac recovers from his newly received trauma. Perry. So how many times have you been close to death like that? Isaac. 32 times. And most of them were from before I got my job as royal judge. Perry. Of course they were. Isaac. Where is Charlie? Perry. Oh, I don't know. I think we all appeared at different places here, but I seem to be pretty close, so I'm just going to assume that she's close by. Isaac. And besides, she's Charlotte after all. She can handle herself. Perry. Yeah, you're probably right about that. Narrator. It suddenly switches from cold to hot out of nowhere, but for some reason the snow doesn't melt, and neither does it stop snowing, and the snow just seems to fall without ever increasing the amount on the ground. Isaac, this place is screwed up now, isn't it? Perry, let's just get moving. Do you know if you can still teleport? Isaac, well, earlier when I was fighting that demon I couldn't. Perry, maybe that was one of his magical abilities, to disable the ability to use magic for others. Isaac, yeah, maybe. Let's give it a shot. Narrator, Isaac teleports him and Perry in front of a place in Snowden called Francisco's Family Diner. Perry, so where are we now? Isaac, well, haven't you seen the Ethernet's boss battle realm before? Perry, well, yeah, but I don't know all the names of the places. Isaac, well, alright then, mister, I've been alive for 1 billion years. Let me give you a rundown. So we are currently in Snowden, which is one of 5 areas. Our goal is to get to New Home, which is where Ethan's castle is located. Perry, oh, alright, cool. Narrator, Isaac looks through the window of Francisco's Family Diner and sees many people moving around in there, and Francisco running around the bar, serving people as fast as he can. Heck, he even sees Mason performing a comedy skit on stage, with hordes of boos following after. Isaac, wait, are there people moving in there? Narrator, he barges inside, but the place is almost empty, and everyone is frozen in place. Like everywhere else, the glasses and cups are phasing in and out of existence, and the paintings and decorations that used to be on the wall are now replaced with glitched text saying, not what you thought it would be. Perry, well, I remember this place. This place was famous. Isaac, yup, it sure was. Best food in the underground, best service in the underground, best grape juice in the underground, and of course, the best comedy in the underground. The last one was sarcasm, by the way. The comedy department was really lacking. Narrator, Perry looks around at the old, dark, and gloomy place. There are many booths lined up against the wall, and tables scattered throughout the building. The bar was at the very front of the building, which was where he saw what he thought was Francisco frozen in place. And of course, at the other side of the building was a stage with Mason Haggett frozen in place. Isaac, people from all over the underground would come here to eat here, and not just because of the food, but the environment as well. It was always very friendly and sociable, and it gave off a warm and welcoming feeling. Perry, but not right now. This place just feels dead inside. Isaac, yep. Narrator, they go and sit on the bench in front of the stage as Perry admires the aesthetic of the place. He couldn't help but realize that Isaac was right. When the lights were on and the cups and glasses weren't fading in and out of existence, this place would have been a very welcoming place. With the fireplace and the wooden aesthetic, it almost felt like home in a way. Perry, so this is Mason on the stage. Isaac, yeah, his puns were almost as bad as Charlotte's. Perry, oh wow, they must have been pretty bad. Isaac, you bet. And the guy loved it too. You see, the jokes weren't for them, they were for him. Man, I remember when I wouldn't want to deal with my siblings, so I'd go over to Mason's house. He was always very welcoming and wouldn't care what you did as long as you didn't steal anything or break anything. He was fine with just anyone coming in and staying. I remember I would go grab a bag of Takis from his cabinet and fall asleep on his couch after a long week of work. Perry, wow, sounds like he was a pretty decent guy. Isaac, yeah, but the guy could probably talk for 6 hours if he wanted to. Ha 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 ha. Perry, reminds me of myself when I was much younger. So did you have a good relationship with your siblings? Isaac, oh, don't get me wrong. I love those schmucks more than anything. Heck, I remember when I gave my little sisters their first lesson on magic. But after a long week of work, without a single ounce of sleep, it's kinda hard when you go home and have to deal with your older sister telling you to do things and your little brother's cantankerous attitude. One thing I do regret, though, is not spending enough time with them, because if I would have known that everything I knew was to be destroyed soon, I would have valued every second I spent with them. Narrator, there is a moment of silence as Isaac looks at Mason on top of that old broken down stage, but then he notices something very strange. He looks at Mason and then looks at Perry and notices that they look extremely similar, a little too similar for comfort. Even Mason's hair reminds him of Perry's hair. And the eyes, too. The eyes look identical to both Perry's and Charlotte's eyes. But then his thoughts are interrupted. Perry, do you resent Charlie for destroying your home? Narrator, Isaac takes a second to think before he answers this question. Well, I would certainly be lying if I said that I didn't, but I do understand that she was just following orders from her father, and well, the puppet master has reasons, that's for sure, and besides, they finally have the freedom that they so desperately wanted from this treacherous place. Perry, good point. I could see how it could get torturous being down here for so long. Isaac, oh, you think? No sunlight, crowding, extreme weather somehow? Yeah, it was the worst. Perry, but at the same time, think about what you did have. Food, shelter, water, weather, and friends and family. Isaac, now that you mention it, we never really did think of the positives while we were stuck down here. Perry, well, that could have been a reason why it was so treacherous in life. In life, you have to think of all the positive things before you start thinking of the negatives. And besides, you don't even need to think about the negatives. Narrator, there is another moment of silence between the two as Isaac finally says, Isaac, we need to get going. Perry, oh yeah, right. The void is approaching. Narrator, they walk outside of Francisco's family diner as their feet crunches on the weird snow. Perry, so how about you try teleporting us to Smitty's castle? Isaac, alright, I'll give it a shot. It's been a while though, so I might only be able to get us to Hotland. Perry, that's the place with all the molten magic, right? Isaac, yup, you bet. Narrator, Isaac grabs onto Perry's hand as he teleports them as fast as he can. They appear at the beginning of the core, where they can see all the old machinery glitching out and the molten magic disappearing and reappearing underneath them. Isaac, believe it or not, Charlie made Hotland look better, at least besides all the frozen dead people. Narrator, then they feel the bridge that they are standing on begin to fall. Isaac, I think we should move. Perry, you think? Narrator, Isaac summons a raptor blaster as Perry jumps onto one of the horns. Isaac rides it across Hotland as glitched objects almost fall on him. He quickly dodges them while surfing through the air on his raptor blaster at absurd speeds as the entire place falls apart as he flies by. The geyser of molten magic comes up from the core, right under them. Perry does a flip into the air as he is just a foot above the molten magic, while Isaac teleports onto a new raptor blaster. Perry, over here! Narrator, the molten magic disappears as Isaac flies towards Perry, who is slowly falling. Perry goes towards the raptor blaster while mid-air and grabs onto the horn again. The heat is very intense, and they cannot stop sweating. Isaac, well, that was a close one. Perry, sure was. Narrator, Isaac continues flying to the core, but he sees something from the corner of his eye. Charlotte, oh, there you are. I've been wondering where you guys went. Narrator, she passes Isaac, and she waves as Perry waves back. Charlotte, last one there's a rotten egg. Isaac, alright, bet. Perry, what? Are you guys kidding me? This place is a safety hazard. Isaac, no one asked, Grandma. Narrator. Pardon me. Narrator. Isaac blasts off as fast as he can as intense flames come out the sides of the Raptor Blaster's mouth. Perry holds on for dear life. More pillars fell and molten magic sprang up. Isaac dodges all this with ease, and now he can see the entrance into the core capital still intact, and the pillars aren't looking too bad that are keeping it up into the air. Isaac tries extra hard to get there before Charlotte can feel the wind pass his face. His face clenches due to the extreme winds, and his head begins to hurt. He finally gets close enough to teleport both him and Perry onto the front porch of the core capital entrance. And of course, Charlotte is there waiting for him. Charlotte, slowpoke. Isaac, I didn't think you would win, so I took it easy on you. Charlotte, of course you did. Narrator. Perry, who was face planted on the ground, gets up extremely dizzy. He then grabs onto the rail and pukes. Perry. What the heck is wrong with you people? Charlotte. A lot. Thanks for asking. Perry. Whatever, let's just get a move on before the void comes. Isaac. Where is it anyways? Shouldn't it be here by now? Charlotte. Good point. Perry. It is probably already attacking some other universes right now, which is why we need to hurry up. Isaac. Makes sense. Charlotte. Yeah, we need to get going so we can avoid everything to getting consumed by the void. Perry. Haha. Very funny. Narrator. Inside the walls are distorted, and all the textures are missing. Isaac cannot remember the layout of the place for the sake of anything. Charlotte, I think we need to go right. Narrator, 2 hours later. Perry, I'm pretty sure the void is already here. Isaac, hey guys, look, an exit. Narrator, they run out of the corrupted maze that was once the core capital as they stop in front of a very unstable looking bridge. Perry, I don't know about you guys, but that bridge doesn't look very stable. Isaac, I'll just teleport you guys over. Narrator, Isaac grabs onto both their hands as he teleports them across the bridge. They turn to the left and face the glitched out wall where there is an elevator. Perry, I wonder where this elevator leads. Charlotte, well, it looks to be our only option, so let's go. Isaac, yeah, it totally won't take us anywhere dangerous. Narrator, Isaac knows that it won't take them anywhere dangerous, but just decides to add suspense. Who knows if the elevator is still working anyways? They walk inside as the elevator door begins to close, as they begin their descent. Charlotte is filled with nostalgia from the time she was with Player in this elevator, and they talked about their adventure in the underground. In fact, this entire trip has been very nostalgic for Charlotte and Isaac. Inside the elevator is dark, but not dark enough to the point where they can't see each other. Charlotte, man, this is a long elevator ride, right guys? Isaac, haha, yep. Charlotte, I know you don't remember anything about Player, Isaac, but I do, and he was a magical person. I remember sitting here with him in this elevator while in my ghost form, before we were about to meet King Ethan Smith. Isaac, sure he was. Narrator, in all truth and honesty, Player never was a magical person. He was more a puppet of the spectators to carry out their will. They could do anything they wanted with him. And worst of all, he had the ability to reset the timeline to where he first landed in the underground. And Isaac had to watch the same events happen over and over, and no one else would remember anything. This is sadly the last thing he remembers from this universe, which is why he doesn't really resent Charlotte for destroying it, because if the spectators kept on screwing around with it, it would have eventually broken itself anyways. Isaac, so what were you up to before we all met at the core? Charlotte, well, I stopped at a few places for nostalgia's sake, and then all these demons attacked me. Perry, and what did you do? Charlotte, I absolutely decimated them. Isaac, sounds about right. Charlotte, then I met you guys at the core. What about you? What were you up to? Isaac, well, first a demon attacked me, and somehow it disabled my magic. Charlotte, that's weird. Isaac, yeah, I would have died if it weren't for Perry. Then after that, we met you at the core. Charlotte, oh, alright, so nothing really eventful happened.
Isaac, well, besides how disordered this place is, nothing at all. Perry, yeah, it's not like he almost died or anything, no. Narrator, then the elevator door opens as they embark on the final stretch of their journey. They walk down a dark gray walkway until they come up to this old decrepit house. They go inside. Inside, it's very spacious and cozy. They see a chain leading to the basement that requires 2 keys to be opened. Perry, alright, now we need to find the keys. Charlotte and I will go right, and you will go, gets cut off. Narrator, Charlotte cuts the chain in half using the government destructor. Perry, or we could just do that. Narrator, they walk down the stairs into the basement. As they enter a dark and gloomy hallway at the end of the hall, they see a light that they assume to be is the exit. They exit the basement through the large cold metal door as they step foot on a large concrete bridge with absolutely no railing. Charlotte, geez, this is dangerous. It's like 100-foot drop. Isaac, hey, at least the ground is stable. Perry, still 100 feet in the air, no railing. Isaac, it's fine. Narrator, the truth is that Ethan S. paid Isaac and some other people to build the railing, but they just didn't want to. Charlotte, I'm pretty sure we are almost there. Perry, yeah, I can see the castle in the distance. Narrator, Isaac is filled with patriotism as he sees the once active castle in all of its glory. Perry, I can't believe we're almost there. I still remember waking up on the giant couch in the Goldie the Casino Raptor realm like it was yesterday. Isaac, I remember meeting you for the first time. It was a weird experience saying that you've been dead for 50 years. Perry, that reminds me. Charlotte, I'm sorry I missed so many years of your life. I wish I had the chance to be there with you. Narrator, all of a sudden Charlotte stops in her tracks and gives her older brother Perry a hug. Charlotte, it's alright. I'm just really happy to have you back, alright, brother? Narrator, Perry, for some reason, was not expecting this reaction. Perry, thank you, sister. I love you. Charlotte, I love you too, brother. Narrator, Charlotte, let's go as they approach the Judgment Hall. Isaac, well, that was cute, but get ready, guys. Charlotte, okay. Narrator, Charlotte and Perry are both a little skeptical of Isaac after he said that, but Charlotte has a feeling that Isaac knows something is going to happen in the hall, so he prepares himself for the worst. The doors that are about 30 feet tall slowly open, revealing a long golden hall with beautiful cross-shaped windows. Charlotte walks in, filled with determination. Perry walks in, filled with patience. And Isaac walks in, not feeling anything. They walk down the golden corridor with light beaming in through the window. Then Perry and Charlotte see someone at the end of the hall that they are very shocked to see. Isaac isn't, though. Another Isaac. Greetings. I've been waiting for your arrival. Charlotte and Perry. Another one! Isaac, I've been waiting to meet you too. Narrator, Isaac shakes Isaac's hand. Gino, in case you're wondering, y'all can call me Time Gino, or just Gino for short. Perry, wait, how do you know him, Isaac? Isaac, well, you see, I'm able to see what all other Isaacs from all separate timelines are doing, and this was the only Isaac left besides me after Charlotte decimated this universe. This was the only universe with multiple versions of it running at the same time. Narrator, Gino is wearing a brown hoodie with an old stained shirt and long stretchy pants. He is wearing Crocs that look like they're ancient, and he looks very frail compared to the Isaac that we know. Gino. Anyways, I'm sadly not here to explain why I'm still alive, when everyone in this universe is not, for I don't even know the answer to that question. I'm here to judge you for your every action. Every one of your actions will be accounted for here today. Narrator. Suddenly, Perry and Charlotte feel fear as they stand side by side, and Isaac feels nothing. Gino. Alright, ladies first. Charlotte Haggett, the angel of death, the royal assassin, death incarnate. You're up first. You're basically the Grim Reaper, correct?
Charlotte, wait, how did you know my last name? Gino, correct? Charlotte, hey, don't talk to me like that. Gino, I can literally disable your ability to use magic and then decimate you just like how you decimated this place. So I think I have the upper hand here, little Miss Death. Narrator, Charlotte is filled with a type of fear as she falls to her knees. It doesn't even feel like her own emotions that's causing her to be this way. It's almost like someone else's emotions are controlling her. Perry's in shock at seeing this and suddenly realizes what Isaac meant earlier before entering the judgment hall. Gino, so you're basically the Grim Reaper, correct? Charlotte, correct. Gino, interesting. Well, anyways, isn't the Grim Reaper's job escorting the spirits of the dead to their new home in the afterlife? Charlotte, yes. Gino, that's not a very happy position, do you think? Charlotte, well, for most people it wouldn't. Gino, exactly. So do you like your job? Charlotte, well, not the whole escorting dead spirits thing. I always thought that took forever. My favorite part was always the murdering part. Gino, exactly. And I get that you were sent on those jobs by your father, the puppet master. Isaac, wait, what's his name? Gino, I can't say it out loud, or else he will erase me. Anyways, as I was saying, you get too much joy out of these missions, and some of those missions you don't even need the puppet master to tell you to go on anymore. You just go on them on your own accord, and you show no remorse as you kill your enemies. 2. You just smile as you do it like a psychopath. Charlotte, what do you mean? Narrator, Gino comes up to her ear and whispers this into it. Gino, if you admit to it, the less I will judge you. If you don't, I will judge you for actions that you didn't even know that you did. Charlotte, yes, sir. Gino, anyways, you eventually became more of an assassin rather than death incarnate, and you only let your thirst of blood grow rather than controlling it like you used to be able to do. And now you have to have Isaac take care of you so you don't hurt anyone by accident. Isaac, I know, right? Charlotte, don't encourage him, Isaac. Gino, Charlotte Haggett, you may leave. Charlotte, okay. Narrator, she slowly gets up as she shakes in her shoes as she walks by Gino out the exit of the judgment hall. Gino, now, Perry Haggett, the angel of life and the keeper of peace, you are now up. Perry, all right. Judge me thoroughly and make this quick, please. Narrator, Perry is confused if this guy is really as powerful as he puts on. But hey, better safe than sorry. Gino, I'll take as long as I like then. You are a keeper of peace, right? Perry, right. Gino, so don't you think you could have done more to help out the multiverse in your time before you died, rather than just taking orders from the puppet master? Perry, yes, I do admit to that, and I'll admit that I was a little lazy, but at the same time, you do have to remember that I have a very hard job. Gino, that Isaac and Charlotte were able to do for you when you were gone. Perry, you're right, I am a disgrace. Gino, good job. Glad you admitted to it, buddy. Anyways, you may be excused now. Narrator, Perry carefully walks by Gino as he exits the judgment hall. Gino, now, Isaac Benavides, royal judge of the underground and personal assistant to Charlotte Haggett. I believe we already know our faults, right? Isaac, no, we do not, for no one is perfect. But at the same time, I know you're just saying that because you don't want to judge yourself, correct? Gino, that would be correct. Isaac, good, because I don't want to either. So may I please be excused? Gino, I'm afraid not, because this is Charlotte and Perry's stories to end, not yours. Isaac, fair enough. So we both know what's going to happen next, right? Gino, yup, the end is approaching. All rights reserved to Casino Co.